Hi everyone, it's Penny Black and Jill Foster here with your third Less is More video. And today we're going to be doing some very easy and cute winter painting. And so I wanted to show that with Penny Black's adorable teddy bear and snowman stamps, that it can be very easy to paint or color these and get them onto your cards. So I'm starting off just by stamping onto Canson 140-pound watercolor paper using a waterproof ink. I'm using Archival ink in the color of watering can. And what I like to do is just stamp a whole bunch ahead of time, and then I can sit down and paint whenever I would like. Now I have an extra small fine tipped waterproof marker, a Faber-Castell PITT artist pen, and I just went over the eyes and the nose just to darken those up. Now I'm going to do all of my painting using Distress Ink Reinkers used as watercolors. I have a paper towel and a cup of water handy, and I'm using a silver black velvet paintbrush. I'll have every single color and all the supplies I'm using listed for you down in the YouTube description box. And I am just going to start painting this in. So like I said, I like to stamp a whole bunch in advance, and then I can just have my palette of watercolors out and my stamped images ready to go. Whenever I have just a few minutes, I can sit down and paint. Now, if you don't like to paint, you could certainly do this same sort of process with whatever coloring medium that you like to use, whether that's colored pencils or markers. But I just advise to stamp them and just have them ready to go. For me, these teddy bear images are so adorable. You can really use them for about anybody, young and old alike. And these winter ones are really fun. You can use them for Christmas or you can use them for winter anytime. So you could do thinking of you in the winter cards, which are really nice to get. New Year's cards, winter birthday, masculine boy cards for the winter time. So just lots of different options. Now what I've done here in this video for you is I've kept my painting real time. So you could see how quickly, even without things sped up for the video, you can paint these in. So what I do is I just pick up my Reinker color on my paintbrush and put it where I want it to be darkest. Then I just rinse off my paintbrush, pat it dry on the paper towel, and then I can go back and blend that color. So I kind of backed up the camera here so you can see that process of the back and forth from the palette to the water to the paper towel and into the image, and just that it's just a very simple, peaceful process for me. Usually in my videos, I kind of speed things up so they don't get too boring, but I thought maybe this would be helpful to show just it in real time and with the camera angle backed up a little bit so you could see that sort of interplay between the palette and the project and the paper towel and all of that. So you'll have to let me know down in the YouTube comments below, how do you like seeing it like this, or do you like things, is this boring for you? Do you like it sped up or a little bit of both? I would love to know what you prefer so that I can try and do that for you. So you can see here I'm just putting down that darker color where I want it to be the darkest. That came right from the palette. So it's the most concentrated of that Reinker. Then I rinse off that brush, pat it dry, and go back and blend that with just a little bit of water on my brush. And you can see where that keeps that pretty much darker where I first put the color and blends it to light. Then I can go back in and work on another section, putting that concentrated Reinker color, patting off the paintbrush, drying it, and then blending it. You'll also notice sometimes when I pick up the color from the palette, I'm just getting it on the tip of my brush. I may even kind of turn the brush or twirl it almost a little bit, and that just keeps the tip of my brush very fine, which helps me get into those detailed areas. You can also just use a more of a fine tip brush as well, whatever you prefer. And like I said, all of the exact colors that I'm using are listed for you down in that YouTube description box below. So I love to have these stamped, painted. Then I can sit down. Penny Black has the cutout dies available for these, and I can just do all of my die cutting and cut them out at the same time, and then put them onto cards. So it's just really fun. Sometimes I will even um, do, for example, let's say I'm painting a whole bunch of teddy bears. I might paint all of the brown on the teddy bears, each one at the same time, just while I'm in that mode, and then go back and paint the other details on the teddy bears. So you can sort of batch or mass produce things as much as you are in the mood for or how much you need to get done. And while I'm painting, I typically have like documentary or a podcast playing in the background. Also, I love with this, I can take it out into the living room or into the kitchen in the house and do some painting. And so I can be with everyone, or if there's something on, I don't like to usually sit too much without doing something else like watching TV. So I love to have these kind of little projects ready that I can easily take with me to go do in another room when a movie's on or something like that. Now, this image has a lot of little details here in the basket that he's carrying, but don't let that intimidate you with an image to thinking that it's going to be really difficult or not very simple. Often, if there are a lot of details, you don't have to do much coloring because the detail is in the image. So just as you can see here, I'm just putting some red onto those flowers, and it's going to be really simple, and yet it will look very detailed in the end. Now, I've gotten the question, how do I know what color I'm picking up from my palette? Because they are just kind of willy-nilly and they're not very organized. Um, I can tell, I can usually remember, and then you can see on the palette, because it's a white palette, not where the color is like the biggest part of the puddle, but towards the edges, you can see the color on that white palette. You could also pull it out a little bit onto the palette to see what color that is. So you can see here in real time, that did not take very long to go ahead and just paint in that teddy bear. Just a fun little project, a few minutes, and it is painted in. And the cuteness of that image really is what does all of the work for you. So here I have another. Now I am going to speed things up so you aren't like falling asleep on me in the video. But same process. I like to stamp in that little lighter sort of charcoal color for the image, but I do darken up the eyes and the nose just to give them a more finished look. But I prefer that sort of lighter, it's called watering can archival ink for the outline stamping. It's just not quite as stark. I feel like it's easier on the eyes than a dark black for the entire image. This just has a little bit more of a handmade look to it, less of that like black and white coloring book feeling to me, but that's just a personal preference. But I do use, that's why I go in with that marker to darken up the eyes and the nose so that it has a finished look. So following that same process, I put a little bit of blue onto the snowman just so he had some shadows there. And then I'm doing the same with the bear here. And also what I love with these, like I said before, you could use them for Christmas, but they don't have to be for Christmas. So you could use this for a winter hello or birthday, thinking of you. Or if you didn't get your Christmas cards done, just send a New Year card or a winter card. It's also fun to play around then if you aren't using them for the holidays with different colors. So I'm going to do some oranges and some pinks on this stamp. Now, I'd like to take just a moment to remind you, we are working to build up our number of subscribers here on our YouTube channel. That helps our channel and helps more people find out about what we're doing and to see this inspiration. So if you're watching today and you have not yet subscribed to our YouTube channel, please hit that subscribe button. If you don't want to miss any of our future videos, ring the bell notification icon and then you will get an email whenever a new video comes out. So we would really love and appreciate that if you would be sure to be subscribed to our channel. And I will be having the next video that's coming out in this Less is More video series is going to be adding sort of the backgrounds and some super easy foiling for this particular image that we're painting right now. So you'll want to be sure to be subscribed and hit that bell notification so you can see that next video and how we finish out this card in a very clean and simple and easy way. Something else that's fun with these images with the hats is you can personalize them for whoever you're sending them to. So if you know that person's favorite color, or maybe it's for a little kiddo and you know what color their coat is this year, you can personalize that stamp and card just for them. I think these would make a fun little wintertime gift with some hot chocolate. You can see here I'm just finishing up that painting, adding a few darker colors in. We'll get the this part, the ribbon, and the bow of the hat. And if you wanted to go more traditional, you certainly could do that as well. I was just going for more of a winter feel on this one, but reds and greens would look really, really cute on this too. Another little tip when you're painting these in, and you'll notice it like on the hats here where I've painted, even on the teddy bear, leave a few little areas of white, especially near the edges of your images. And this will actually make them look, bring them to life a bit and give them sort of that happy storybook watercolor feeling. So you can see, if you notice mine, there are a few places where I just left white on the edges, and that is on purpose and it's super easy to do. So here's what that looks like on the card. Like I said, I will be sharing in the next video how to create that background. Now these are Penny Black's newest teddy bear stamps, and I wanted to give you a look here at Sledding Sweetness. Look at these snowmen in the Snow Folks set. So all of these coloring techniques would work with this. And here is a Sweet Christmas stamp. So fun. And you can see with the cutouts, then I could just add those to my backgrounds. You can go as simple or as intricate that you would like for your background. So there I did a little bit of stamping from that same set. Here is that foiled background with some die cutting. Very, very simple and easy to do, and I'm going to show you exactly how to do that in the next video in this video series. Here again, I followed that same sketch, so I could stamp, paint, cut these out, and then I just used the same sketch to finish out several of them. So I didn't have to do too much thinking as I was doing that. Here's another one, just some torn paper at the bottom and some simple stamping in the background with our tree stamps. And again, following that same sketch, I've got our zigzag stackers die for the background, just some torn paper at the bottom and some stamping in the background. So an easy way to finish off those cards. Same thing here, following that same sketch. It's really fun too to tuck in the different elements and the bears into that torn paper. So just another design idea. I hope you've enjoyed today's video with some very easy stamping and cute painting. If you did, please be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Like I said before, the next video will be how to do that foiled background with the die cut frame, so you don't want to miss that. And you can also continue to connect with Penny Black on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, as well as our website and our blog. And all of that is linked for you down in the YouTube description box below, along with a listing of all the supplies used in today's video. Thanks for watching and happy stamping!